What does a normal news week look like to you? For me, it typically consists of bad policy, domestic issue, foreign issue, Ron DeSantis. That's typically what I see in a news week. But this last week definitely interrupted that. And admittedly, in a hilarious way that no one saw coming, but everyone needed to laugh at. So, what exactly is this story that I'm talking about? You think that it's going to be something amazing, probably. You probably have high expectations of what I'm about to talk about. Let me just read you some of the headlines pertaining to this exact subject. From the New York Post, Cheeseball Man draws massive NYC crowd to watch him eat entire jar, the hero we needed. And then, from CNN, crowd cheers as man eats 700 cheese balls in under 30 minutes. You can already see, this is monumental. Now, I know, some people are going to be thinking, this is not even serious, why are people even reporting about it? Well, you're right, it's not serious. But it's hilarious, and both sides of the political aisle thought so. If this is what it takes to bring America together, I'm all for it. But let's talk a little bit more about this. Who is Cheeseball Man? What is his mission? What did he actually do? The New York Post tells us all of it, and in addition to that, I'm going to show the video at the end because, honestly, this is one of those things that you have to see to believe because it's it's insanely hilarious. So let's see what the New York Post has to say about quote-unquote the hero we needed. According to the New York Post, hundreds of astounded onlookers gathered in Manhattan's Union Square Park on Saturday to watch an anonymous 22-year-old man in an orange mask devour an entire jar of cheese balls. He said, "I decided to do this because I thought New York City could use something like this. Cheese balls are funny, and eating an entire jar of one is a difficult task, but not impossible." He's right. It's not impossible. However, for this man, it was particularly difficult, as you'll see why later in the video. But let's talk a little bit more about the lead up to the event. It all started, according to the article, with ominous posters popping up in the local areas leading up to it. I'm going to show you one of those posters right here. As you can see, it says, "Watch me eat this entire jar of cheese balls." Now, according to the article, for some reason, he attracted curious onlookers, and people gathered together to shout, "Cheeseball Man," and eat those cheese balls to cheer him on and hype him up. He said, "There was a moment that I was definitely going to throw up, and then people said keep it down really loudly, so I just kept it in." He also said, "I think everybody wants to be behind the mask. I didn't really expect this many people to show up." And yeah, I don't know that I would have expected that many people to show up either. Now, most of the people said that they showed up because it sounded hilarious. And get this. One person said that this crowd could be heard from nearly 2 blocks away. This is insane. It's 2024. When we see things like this, we see large public gatherings and they're loud enough to be heard from 2 blocks away. What do you think is going on? In this day and age, probably a riot. Or some kind of protest. Or Michael Knowles is speaking on a campus and everybody's trying to get him off. But no. This was not a time of division. This was a time of unity. We really became the United States, once again, in this one moment, to watch this man eat his cheese balls. I can't believe I just said that with a straight face. You know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you the video because if I keep explaining it, it's kind of like a joke that nobody gets. It's just not funny if I keep explaining it. However, once you see this video, see what brought Americans together from both sides of the political aisle, you will understand why. It's monumental and it's hilarious. Cheeseball Man, take it away.
Allergic to gluten. And today I will be eating this entire jar of cheese balls.
Okay, side note, he kind of sounds like Donald Trump. And, I mean, maybe there was some kind of intentional pun with this. I mean, He put on an orange mask. His voice kind of sounds the way that Donald Trump's does. Maybe it was some kind of play on the whole big orange man thing. I don't know. That could just be my observation. Anyways, back to the video.
Eat those balls! Eat those balls! Eat those balls! Eat
that cheese ball!
cheese balls! Eat those cheese balls! Eat those cheese balls! Eat those cheese balls! Eat those cheese balls!
That was just a taste. This man was there for almost 30 minutes. Shockingly, it only takes almost 30 minutes to eat that many cheese balls if you're motivated. Just another testament to the fact that human beings can do anything if they put their mind to it. Even have a man who is allergic to gluten eat 700 cheese balls in under 30 minutes. It's just another testament to the human spirit. But let's talk about the aftermath of this, because even after the fact, it was still hilarious. Let's go back to that article I was referencing from the New York Post at the beginning. It said, after running around with a flag of himself and shaking people's hands with his dusty cheese fingers, the man said multiple times that he planned to go home and throw up. Cheeseball Man accomplished his feat after about 30 minutes and signed autographs for those who came out to support. He told ABC News that he hopes to set out on another cheeseball mission next year with a bigger jar. People can't get enough of that now infamous Cheeseball Man. Not the hero we deserved, but the hero we needed, said one Instagram user. Cheeseball Man also told the New York Post that the rush he got upon completing the jar of cheese balls was unrivaled. He said, "I would say that it's the most thrilling experience I've had in my life." Good for him! If that's the kind of thing it takes to give you a rush and make you happy, I'm all for it. Reading this article last night gave me a rush and made me really happy. So guess what, dude? You've accomplished your goal. If your goal was to entertain, make people laugh, and ultimately kind of bring both sides of America together, he's definitely accomplished his goal. But one thing is kind of interesting about this to me. Why the orange shiesty? Well, he's apparently commented on this as well because it's become a piece of lore at this point. This has only been a thing for the last few days, but we've already got multiple sources reporting on this and finding out his reasons behind all of it. According to The Independent, by not revealing his identity, his goal was to highlight that anyone can do what he does. He said, "I think masks are really funny. I also think it adds so much to the storyline of it all. You know, I think people really do care about anonymity. If anyone could be Cheeseball Man. And I think that's a beautiful thing to think about." I don't know that it's really that deep, but either way, it's funny. This man essentially crafted an entire storyline, created an entire character in the span of a few days. And hundreds of people showed up to watch this. If you look at the video, that's an actually diverse crowd. You've got people that look like they're from all walks of life watching this gluten-intolerant man down 700 cheese balls in about 30 minutes. Now, like I said earlier, 2024 is a kind of divisive time in our country. No one seems to be able to agree on anything. But it seems like all of America can and does agree on one thing. Cheeseball Man is not the hero we deserved, but the hero we needed. And that's all I have to say about that.